on here. Of course. Shouldn't have rushed myself. I know I was already coughing a little bit and I got a cough drop. But I haven't even got it going good. So it hadn't had time to do much good. So I'm going to do another Streamcast live broadcast. Go back. I'm going to work on the Linksys again tonight. Router, and I'm going to try to actually flash the firmware. And I believe I'm going to use my laptop over here. You can't see it, but I've got it up and running. It's got domain on it. I'd forgotten yesterday, but I've got domain 9 or something, 8 or 9 on it. And I went ahead and installed a couple of my favorite networking apps that might help me, and Putty in case I have to try to get into the router that way. And I'm not 100% sure. I spent a couple of 3 hours researching the let's go to the desktop. Researching the chips in the router before I got started because I wanted to be able to share those. And let's see. Those are I reorganized some of my files too. But it trying to see what it is, what all I got. Oh, okay, yeah, these are some of the chip data sheets I got and stuff. So I think I'll open, well, first I'll open this up. Since this is a new, you know, you may not have seen the original video, the first video. This is part 2. I'll open this up. This is all the, I use Google Goggles to scan this into there, and it got all the text. It got all of it except for, I thought it was all exactly right, but it says Cisco Systems instead of Systems. So, but I checked the best I can. The reason I did it is I have a lot of trouble looking at numbers and letters and writing them down right. My eyes swap letters and numbers, but it looked like all this was right. I looked at it several times. Now my router is a Linksys WRT54G. I'm going to copy that in case I need it here in a minute. Well, I guess I'll leave this open for a minute. No, let's close it because I don't want too many things open at once. I do want to get to my pictures. Let's go there before I go into any of those. I put them all together here. I did a long video if you want to see all the details of tearing the router apart and putting it back together and everything yesterday. It's on my channel there. These are just some, actually I took it apart once, well, I didn't take this board out of that bottom part of the case the first time because I actually didn't know how to do it. I didn't notice those 2 screws. You can't see me pointing. I was over here pointing at the screen. 2 screws up towards kind of the middle top of the screen, and that's what let it loose. And it slides out, but it looked like the only thing that was holding it was those plastic clips. There's 3 of them, black plastic clips, but it actually has the screws and the clips. So I put it back together for the sake of the video, and then opened it up in the video again. So that's what it looked like. It was dusty, but not near as dusty as I thought it would be. I should have cleaned it though before I took the pictures because can't see I wanted the Broadcom chip, the square one there. I wanted the numbers off of it, and you can't see them to save your life. I finally did get them, but not in a picture or anything. And that's the model. That's where you get your model number from, is the tag there on the router. And there's the Ethernet ports on the back and the power input. And this is one of the chips I looked up. And I was going to say which one it is, but I'll wait because I don't remember the numbers and things well. I'm going to say that's the RAM, but yeah, SD RAM. And the other one is a Samsung as well, and I've already forgot what it was that it did. And there it is It's one of the other chips. The whole point of that was see where the mouse is pointing at that chip. I was trying to get that number. I actually did a screenshot out of my yesterday's video. I went back through the video to try to get some of the numbers that I didn't get on those first pictures, and did screenshots. So that's another chip that I was able to see, and a tag on there. Never did get a good shot of that long number that you can see in the underneath the tag. And that there, I don't know quite what that's for. It was on the board, on the circuit board. It doesn't look green there. The reflections cause all kinds of color changes and stuff in your video. And so I was using my endoscope cam, little close-up cam. And it has a light. Sometimes I turn it on, sometimes I turn it off, and the light's in the room. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it hurt, you know. Between the lights in the room reflecting off of the shiny surfaces. Oh, and that's where you would, that's the JTAG header. And that's pin 1 where the mouse is pointing. Where if you bricked it, you could still probably fix it if if you either make or buy a JTAG cable. That's what they call them, to connect into there, and then the other end will be a serial connector to go to your old computer or laptop that has a serial port. And that's pointing to pin 1. It's got our pin O. See the O beside it. And you can tell it by that O, and also by the fact that it's square there. That's what I believe, what I've learned, you know, on other types of electronics anyway. Let's see, what's that one? Just in shot. I don't know what the point was. Now, and this is, I looked it up yesterday, and that is my chip, the BCM5354. That's what my Broadcom chip is. So this will be the right set of firmware for it. And this is just a screenshot of that page. I'll actually go to it here in a minute. And close this program now. And let's see if we can, I like to keep that, when I'm not using it for something else, I like to be able to look up there and see that my video is indeed growing. Well, I usually keep it newest on top, yeah, so that I know my video is working. I'm just going to start right there. I don't know which one's which here. But, okay, this is one of those chips. Guess I could have opened those up while I was looking at them, but I didn't think about it. This is, these are 10100 base T dual port transformer for modules. I don't know exactly what it does, but obviously it's got something to do with networking. Yeah, I think this is the one that had the number on the side. Yeah, that's what that one is. And some of them were easy to find information about, full data sheets, and some weren't. Oh yeah, this one's in a list. What's the number? If I get the number out of there, I can search on that page and find it. There it is. Now this is the flash ROM, the flash memory, where your bin file, your software that runs the router is going to be written to. Now it says right here 16 megabytes, but on that website, well, I don't have it open right now. Well, I still got my page for that's not good. That'll use up too much memory. It's already getting up there. I'm going to close my browser for now. I forgot to close it. I usually always do that before I get started. But it says, let's move this. Okay, it was in my pictures, wasn't it? Let's go back and find that. I think there was the last picture there. Oh yeah, I've got it in a different order now. Let's go through them real quick. I think it's still going to be the oh, there it is. Okay, now it says that this router has 8 megabyte of RAM and 2 megabyte of flash. So I don't know. They're all different models have different amounts, but mine is supposed to be the V8, and I'll show the firmware, the present version of firmware in there in a little bit when I get into it. But mine is the V8, and that's what they're saying. But this chip ID, PI07, I believe. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move this. I have to have everything organized away. PIO7, that's what I decided, figured out that I thought it was. And it says in this list is one of the few things, I didn't find a data sheet or anything on it. But it says it's 16 megabyte. So that would be good, but I mean, I'm going to get the firmware they recommend there on DD-WRT to make sure, because if you get more than will fit on your chip, you will brick the router, and that's the thing I don't want to do. And see, these are only these are under 2 megabytes. See, we're all either see, those are closer to 2 megabytes. Everything else is way smaller than 2 megabytes. Well, that's a TFTP client for working on the router with. But that's for Windows. I won't use that unless I have to. I like Linux. That's what I work in. So that was the first thing that I noticed there. I lost my... Every time I get off of there, I have to go and hit enter for it to find it again. Every time I leave it, it goes away. So anyway, that's what this is. And I went ahead and saved it because it was kind of the best thing I had found on it. And then this one is the says 64 mega. This is a data sheet, but it's got a lot of stuff I don't understand in it because I'm not an electronics engineer by far. Just a curious person, a hobbyist. 64 megabyte KDI SRAM specification. I've done a lot of reading on these kind of things for the last 10 years, really, but it's a lot to learn and take in, you know. But it is, let's see, move it, get the number off of it. I figured out that, you know, that 728 right there, that may be the date code, because some of these others, they had, I found it out, it said on something that I read. Let's see, I think that's all we want of that. Okay. But it is a UC75. We need to remember that, but it won't search good that way. Oh, it's in my shortcuts. But anyway, those numbers preceding 725, or sometimes there's 4 numbers. Oh, it's not on these PDFs. It's on my links in my web browser. They're the date code. So I'm going to search for that. There's back to the top. This little viewer is a little different. Let's open it up in a different viewer. The other day I was having to fill in some PDFs, and I had to find one. I have several on here, and I finally found one that would. This one's kind of better for just viewing and searching, I think. That other one, Cube PDF, this is color. It's good for doing this with. Okay, so synchronous DRAM. That's what. Oh yeah, that's what SDRAM stands for. I've forgotten. 05 and 06 is when they were made. I see I can keep searching real easy. I can either keep hitting enter or... Now there, it says there 2 meg by 8 bits by 4 banks, 1 meg by 16 bit by 4 banks, SRAM. I don't know enough about these RAM chip, little RAM chips, old and new, whatever, to interpret all this. 64 millisecond refresh period. Let's see. Okay, I was going to get down here because this is where it shows different types. Now mine was UC75. So that one's a, well, see, that one doesn't match. You skipped that one in the search. That one is a 60, and so this is the only one that could be it. Now I don't know what organization is supposed to mean. And then say 4 megabyte by 16. 4, 4 is 8 and 8, 16. That would be 16 megabytes. 4 megabytes by 16. Maybe that's a 4 megabyte chip, and you've got to have 4 of them to have 16 megabytes. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Why they say, well, they say I have 8 megabyte of RAM. So I don't know about that. Well, that's 8 megabyte. But I don't have that chip. If you go searching back up, it skips that. That's not the same number. So 4x16, 8x8. Yeah, I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. Okay, I'm sure plenty of people know this stuff, but sometimes I can kind of interpret some of the newer TI data sheets and stuff on some of the new chips, but I like TI stuff. I live in Texas. I live about 60 miles from the TI headquarters. Never could get them to give me a job, though. I didn't know anything about that stuff. I just wanted to learn. They weren't teaching. Well, it was back in the early 90s when I went in there, walked in there and tried to get a job, and they said, well, we're laying off, because they were kind of in trouble. But it's all the, everything about every bit of it. So anyway, I went through the whole thing, and I never did see anything else that told me for sure. It's that data sheet has got more than one part in it, so that makes it a little harder to figure things out. Let's see, those are not anything that will help with this. Okay, so get my browser back open now, and I'll see if there's anything else in my bookmarks that might be interesting, and then I'll just go on into seeing about getting started with the flashing, the whole important part here. But I got to get my instructions up, though, that's for sure. So I didn't go back and review the instructions again because I really have to look at them as I go. I do much better. I forgot about that. I was going to go back and kind of review some of the videos I've already seen. A couple I didn't actually completely finish watching. They look like just more what I'd already seen. But here's all my research on the Linksys router. That's something I just looked up for something. That's some of my old original research. And there's the chip research. Yeah, there's not really anything new. I didn't get data sheets on all of them. I didn't find much really good information. I mean, I'll put links in there, but I didn't see anything super great. Let's see. Okay, now how do I want to go back to some of the chips? I just now realized I don't know how to quickly get back to, I don't want WRT, I want DD, oh, that's where I need to go, to DD-WRT, I think. Yeah, DD-WRT Firmware, okay. I had put that stuff all in one folder. I guess it was either my, that folder with all those other links, so now it makes it harder to find them. Or, oh, now there's one of them I know I need. The peacock thread. And that's an old link that's not working anymore. Okay, well, let's go up to the DD-WRT folders and see. I'll just go there and start from the beginning. I believe I can, oh, that wasn't what I wanted. But this is is that the installation? Yeah, that's the installation page, so that's a good start. The page I want is this one. Support router database. That's the one I want, but this is not going to get me there. There's no link in that. So, that's what I need to do is just, every time you leave that page, you have to go back and do it again. See if I can just find it by searching my... I think it needs the dash in there to find the rest of them. Whoops, can't seem to get anything right here. I'm looking for that database page, search page. There. Okay, well, I think the top, I think there's several links goes to that. I'll open that in a new tab. That's not it. I'll try another one. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to swap those because that's the order I want them in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close that so it won't end up using up memory. Now, what I need is I'm not, I always, as you can maybe just saw, I make lots of mistakes typing, so I try to avoid typing numbers and letters a lot. Okay. There's a place where I have had it all. Yeah, here it is. I can get Linksys. Well, I don't need the word router, but that's all right. That'll. I can copy it. I think it actually starts searching the instant you put it in there. See, I didn't find anything. I got the extra junk in there that's fouling it up. There it is. Now, mine is at 8.0 dot something. I've already forgot what it said. I did a screenshot of it, but it's in the laptop. I guess I could look for it. But here it is. And this is my firmware that I'm going to want. Now, but I didn't download it yet because it's going to download real quick. And I wanted to go ahead and go to the Peacock thread from the link in there. It is the Peacock thread from the link in here. I'll try to, and then you go, and yesterday I may be on the wrong one. This is the actual Peacock thread. That is long, but it explains everything. So that's where they always tell you where to go. See, that's the Broadcom only instructions, Broadcom chip, which is what I do have. What I want, though, is the supported devices. I think there's another one that says the Peacock page or something. This could be an older. Oh, let me close these. Okay, now that's some of the links I have in my links, but right here, the wiki and the user form, that's where they tell you to go from here. And these are my, that would be the instructions for this. Now, there's the install. Now I remember how I got there. The wiki, and if you need to ask questions or read all kinds of things, then you can go there. That's in the DD-WRT, but there's so much information, it does get hard to. Let's see. Choosing the correct firmware. Identifying your DD-WRT firmware. Supported devices. Bricking your router. Download page. Let's see. Okay, yeah, after you read all that, and I have gone over it over and over, but like I said, I forget it. And if you're going to do this to any router, go through search your router in the database. Once you find it, then go through these pages and scour this stuff. Then after you read this page, get some background on the Peacock page, which I haven't done. It's just been a while. But I do know some of the most important things, like the 30-30 reset and all that. Hardware specific may be the most useful page in terms of identifying your router, figuring out what files you need, and download included instructions and figure out the correct procedures. So I'm going to do that. Go there, and I'll just go back to the top so I'll kind of know where I'm at on this. Now, this page, follow the guidelines. I'm not going to try to read it all. Remember to follow the Peacock thread. I might be wishing I had that back open up, but I should be able to find it again. Downloads page. And of course, I'm using the search. They always recommend using that search database to find the right one for your router. But then you have to make sure you know exactly what version and what chip you have on your router too. And that's why I did so much trouble to look up the chip. I just wanted to know about the RAM and all that. I wanted to know about that. But the Broadcom chip, I needed to know what I had. I knew it was a Broadcom, but I didn't know the number on it. Not all rinks have been migrated yet. If your router is not in the list below, be sure to check the other page. Okay, now I remember going through here in my video yesterday. Here, let's do this. I think that'll find it without me, having the manual. And mine's an 8.0. so and so. It's not through, it's and. Like if you have an 8.1, you have different firmware and you have to do it differently. So I have an 8.0. If you had 8.2, you'd use the same method, but if you had 8.1, you'd use a different method. So I'm going to click on that. Now, red note. During the configuration and flashing of the device, the only thing that should be connected to your device is the computer and the power. Your device, your router, is the computer, meaning through the network cable and the power. Okay. The only supply to the apply to Linksys, that's mine, are the V2s, and it says they do not work for the one. That's what I was just saying. Go there and see. I wasn't 100% sure because mine just said V8. It didn't say dot anything. So I was just going around and around trying to make sure what I had. Matter of fact, I have a bunch that in my previous video I showed that I had already downloaded a couple of years ago that I had written that's for my router in 11, 15, 11. And I'm beginning to think that those may not even be the right ones from a router because they have instructions for version 4, 5, and 6 in those instructions, but I could have got mixed up and got the wrong instructions in that folder too. So I do much better with videos and audio instructions than I do with written instructions, especially these days. I just can't pay attention much anymore when I'm reading instructions. It's strange. I love to read and I love to learn things, but I kind of skim and get the gist of it all, I guess is what I do. But anyway, okay, how to flash it. Okay, let's see. How to flash these. Background preparation. How to turn your original Linksys firmware to V8. Oh, how to return. Okay. 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 Don't fail to prepare. It will be useless. Bricked. I am on the desktop, right? Well, it would be terrible if I was talking like showing stuff and I wasn't showing it. Yes, I am. The notorious, I would call it notorious peacock thread. It's a forum thread that they ended up just writing out all the instructions on there. Now here's the, if you want to learn how to do the 30-30-30 reset, and I might have to get the instructions out again just to remember exactly how you do it. Do not try to do it while it's in the process. I got that. Do not tip to reset on a Linksys EA series router is what. Do not attempt to hard reset 30-30-30 or erase the NVRAM on a Linksys EA series router as it may erase the CFE and brick your router. Well, yeah, mine's not an EA evidently. Okay. There's the hard reset. To clear out the NVRAM and set the DDR back to default values. With this unit powered on, press and hold the reset button on the back of the unit 30 seconds. Without releasing the reset button, unplug the unit and hold the reset for another 30 seconds. plug the unit back in still. That's going to be hard because you have to stick a pin in the hole to do that, or paper clips the best way, really. Well, it's the way I've always done it. I don't like sticking the pin because it gets ink all over it, makes it dirty. You can use it, that's what a lot of people do, they use an ink pen. Plug it still holding the button, 30 seconds. Please note that this step can put ASUS devices into recovery mode. See the note below. Pretty should be done before and after every firmware upgrade and downgrade. Do not use this configuration restore if you change firmware builds, different SVN builds numbers. Do not use configuration restore if you change firmware. ASUS, okay. Okay, as an alternative method, it is possible to restore DD-WRT settings without using the reset button. Useful if you're locked out of the web interface or the reset button is disabled or broken, or it refuses to do it. Some devices resetting in VRAM in this fashion may cause more problems than it can solve. For example, ASUS, Motorola. I'm just looking for Linksys. That's what I'm working on. Okay. And it requires Telnet, okay, or SSH services to be enabled, okay, and accessible, okay. Erase the NVM reboot, MTD erase VM. Oh, this is okay. You SSH like with PuTTY in there, and then you type these commands in. Okay. Okay. Says use it with caution. Yes, I wouldn't try that unless I was somehow hung up. That part right there I'm going to want to. Let's see. I think that should be in DD-WRT instead of, well, just leave it. I've got lots of links in both of them, so it gets a little hard to find things for me. But if I don't save the links, then I'll never find them again. Yeah, it may have some stuff that's not relative, so you can scan. Yeah, well, there's 10 times more scanning than there is reading what's relevant, but I don't know how they could do much better. And so many different routers, models, and chips and RAM, and each, like in the Linksys with the same model number, they have different, same basic model number, WRT54G, but version this, version that. They each have different RAM, different flash memory. You know, just on, and then you got all the Broadcom chip. Which Broadcom chip does it have? Does it have a Broadcom? I think the Linksys is all these have the Broadcom chip, but I'm not sure. Anyway, and there's that same Broadcom chip in some other brands of routers like ASUS or whatever, you know. So, okay, now I'm going to go here, view these sites. Get almost everything offline. Disable your wireless, which I will do. Right now I have it enabled on the laptop, but I don't have the wired connection even plugged in. That actually caused, yesterday I had it plugged in, it actually caused my wireless not to be able to connect. And I didn't figure it out for a long time because I wasn't expecting it to do that. When I booted up the computer, I had it all plugged in, and it would just look straight to the wire and didn't look to the wireless at all. I didn't think it did that. I thought it would. Of course, that's Debian, and I'm not used to using Debian, so might be the thing because I'm used to using either Fedora or Windows 7 or XP, and in Fedora is what I use almost, you know, like 99% of the time since 2005. So. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I think it might have done what I expected. If you unplug, you know, it'll just look for the one that's got the working connection and use that. Is what it does automatically. Okay. Security settings. Oh, that's about Windows, I think. Security settings in Windows, yeah. Yeah, Vista. Hopefully I won't have to do anything in Windows. and it tells you to save the pages that you need, but I got another computer that's online, so I'm just going to do it that way. And I can just sit here and read off my big screen, read the instructions, and then look over to the laptop to do the work. So. And I'll try to aim my camera at the laptop screen. I mean, I will, but it won't be real. For me to see it and the camera to see it, and where places I have to set things, it's kind of tricky, but I do have to be able to read it, you know. And do not sift the scaving. If you're just doing this, you got one computer, you need to, and that's why I have so many of those files saved on my computer, because I thought I was going to have to do it that way. Back then, I didn't have all these extra. Some of these computers I have, all I had was some desktops, several, but anyway, this will be helpful. Recover from a bad flash instructions. Probably also need the TFTP execute. One good thing about it, I've seen videos where they use it. You just run that file and it starts up a TFTP server. Then you can get in there with PuTTY, you start it up on whatever machine, you know, whatever computer, laptop, desktop that you're using to do this with, and then you can the router will get its IP address from that, and it will connect to that when you boot it up, when you have it wired to the machine, and then you can use PuTTY to get into the router, and that's how you could write those commands in the PuTTY, in the command line in PuTTY, using or whatever you know, TFTP client that you wanted to use. So that's what that's for. I saw a couple of good videos of somebody doing that. It's not as hard as it sounds. So anyway, that could be easy because I was looking through on my domain laptop. There's plenty of FTP apps, TFTP server apps and clients to choose from. But I know that just installing them they may just work right out of the box. You may have to do some configuration and hand edit some config files and stuff to get them going. You may have to spend a day following instructions too. So that would make me go ahead and. Thing is, I don't have Windows on this laptop anymore. Actually, the only Windows that I have that actually works is another old Dell with this is a 1525. And I got a Dell 6000 that has XP on it. I could run it in there, I'm sure, but it's not running good. It's just, I've got it updated to XP SP3 the other day, and it's still not running. It's actually slowed down some more. I thought it was infected, and I kept scanning it, but it's okay. It's just scanning it with all kinds of rescue systems and everything. It's okay. It's just, I think it's just not. It's too old. It's a single core, 1.6 gigahertz. It has 2 gig of RAM, the max it can hold, I think, and which is great for XP. But I think it's just not enough processor to run XP SP3 is what I finally decided. Okay. First killer flash. Okay, that would be the killer for the VXWorks. And now I've already forgot. Yeah, VXWorks right here. Which is what you have to run first if you have VXWorks on there, which I think I do. And then second, DD-WRT flash, okay. Oh, the micro generic, oh, okay. But, let's see. Do not try to skip on the hard reset, yeah. Okay, each time you do the firmware, do that. And then I've seen that in the videos. In Windows, you have to go in there and configure your computer's local address. They're saying, 1.100, so and so, so and so, which I might have to. I think I would still have to do that in Linux, which is fine. Let's see. Factory upgrade. Okay. Dialog. it's telling you specific files, but I know you have to have the right one for your router. So it's like, oh, this is my router. This is specifically for my router. Okay, I was getting worried is the thing is about, they keep saying, here's links to this stuff. Okay. Five full Earth minutes before you continue. It takes a while. I saw that on the videos. One guy was doing it in real time so you could see how long it actually takes. He didn't do a 30-30 reset every time on the router he was doing. He was doing a TP-Link, and I have one. That's why I was reading it, because I want to upgrade my TP-Link. But I wanted to do this old Linksys first and see, you know, if I screw it up, then I won't be screwed up my production router, as they say, the one I'm using every day, all night. Okay, let's see. Okay, and you have to use TFTP to flash it on there. That's what's kind of odd. Okay, you do have to do that on this thing. You'll not be able to browse. Once you've done that, you can't browse it. Okay. Then you got to use the TFTP app to copy that bin file over. Okay, and for Linux distros other than the Bane, enter TFTP m ocnet. Oh, it tells you how to do that. Other than the Bane. Well, what do you do in the Bane? Oh, there we go. The Bane, or you bent to. The above instructions won't work. Okay, so you go open the terminal, run TFTP. Oh, well, it tells you the exact commands. I kind of skipped over this before because I don't want to get into writing out all those commands. I always use the GUI apps, the graphic user interface apps, if I can. Oh, okay. So those aren't too hard now. But that one there, really, I would want to copy and paste all of them that I can. That's the hard thing. But I can't have. I started to try and have. See, if I could leave my wireless running, I might be able to do a remote desktop over to the laptop, and then do, copy and paste things in that way. But I think it would be too risky anyway. So I'm going to have to just type it out. Or else change the laptop that I use and do it in Windows after all. I think the laptop's the easiest way to do it. And this one, see, if I don't keep this one running, I really just kind of wanted to use this machine, but then I couldn't make my videos. So, let's see. Yeah, this is actually, in the videos that you watch, it just makes more sense to me, and it's not that hard. But when I read all this and the ifs, ands, or buts everywhere, then I'm like, what did I just read? So, okay. Let's see how to return to the original Linksys before I go any further. Okay, VXWorks reset GVN bin will install. Oh, so that's the original. So I don't have to worry about I won't have to try and back that one that's in there up or anything. They've got it for me here. Okay. I thought maybe that's what I saw over here on the page. There it is right there. No, that's not it. This one. That's the one I wonder what it is. That's what I need to do is compare what they're saying to these. And, I mean, I guess I can just download them from right here in this instructions page. But Sometimes instructional pages are a little behind, though. You know, like this would more likely have the newest versions. That's what I was kind of like hesitant to just click on those links. Well, that's the 3030 reset. Okay. Okay, cool. Kind of lost. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. How to upgrade if it's already installed. Okay. Other notes. Oh, CFE Composer is available for, okay. Allows you to put, enables Micro Plus. OLSRD is the one I'm wondering what it is. Oh, I gotta move that or do something. It's confusing me. That's that. The one that I'm presently reading is the one, should be the last one in my row here. Okay. Okay, yeah, the DD-WRT54G. Okay, that doesn't say anything about RC. It's a beta. Okay. Supported but requires a special flashing procedure, which is simpler than V5 and VXWorksKiller procedure. Oh, okay. Well, I have the, oh, that's GV. Okay. I don't have a GV. RC4. Oh, okay. Or some issues RC which are resolved in RC4. That shows RC. Oh, that's still not it. Okay. Release RC release candidate. I know that from Linux. Oh, all my Linux stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the key things you need to know. The login, default login is root password admin. What does head pin 11 after that mean? I don't know what that means. Anyway, I saw it in the videos. I saw them doing it. So that's 2008. Yeah, and see, these are 2017. So. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that first one they told us to put on there. Hard reset. Cover from a bad flash. WRksKiller. GV8V3. Let me go ahead and that thing keeps, I don't normally leave this up, but I do this while I'm doing videos so that I can quickly get to my live page and stuff. But it's distracting. But it also reminds me to check and make sure I am indeed live and that no one is trying to talk to me in that chat. That's where I would answer them if they were. So, yeah, it looks good. So I'll leave it. Okay, now. This is the one it defaults to when you do your search, 13064, but there is a 14896, which I guess is newer, and they're both beta, and so usually I don't bother with beta software. I like at least a release candidate that's more closer, you know, ready to fixing next thing to being released. But that's all they have here. So, and what the good thing is, it's all brand new this year, because the one I had, the newest thing was 2011. The one that I got in 2011, it was, I think, older than that. Maybe this is where I got them. I don't remember anymore. But okay, GV8. That's what I was wanting to look at. VXWork, yeah, GV8 V3 bin. Okay, so that is it. Okay, and then second, flash the DD-WRT 24 micro generic. Yeah, that one there. I don't know what that is. I'd like to find out. It's a micro generic, but it has OS LRD. Well, maybe that does not pertain to my router. So let's go ahead and use these links, I guess, because that way I'll be, I misread things a lot. Okay, VXWorksKiller. Pretty sure this is, because I watched a few videos on doing these things. Pretty sure that is how you start. I already kind of thought that. Okay, now I scanned it. I didn't say a word about what I was doing, but I right-clicked on the link. I scan with VirusTotal. No matter where I get a download, heck, PDFs, heck, half the time I do it just going to another web page. And so if it comes up clean, I'm good. And then I highlight it, right-click, and then I say save it. You can also do scan with VirusTotal, and see that's how fast that downloaded. So now let's go ahead and get the micro bin. And then I've done this a lot with restoring my settings. And this time I'll say scan with VirusTotal like that. I'm just going to go ahead and reanalyze it. It was analyzed recently, but now it came out okay. I've restored, I use bin files to save and restore your settings. I'm just going ahead and downloading these. And so I've done that a lot, but that's not as tricky as putting a whole new set of software on it. Now what else will I do? Configure your computer's local intranet. Yeah, hard reset, open the browser, wait. What's this? Oh, okay, use the firmware upgrade. Work, what? To flash, that's VXWorksKiller again. If a page opens that says, oh, management mode, close your browser and try again. Let me take a couple of times. I don't think I skipped anything. No, that's the micro. I think you have, if you want to upgrade it to the newest thing, let's see, okay. Wait, and then, now it's time to flash the DD-WRT firmware using TFTP. I wonder if I'm skipping. This seems like it's starting over again, is what I'm thinking. That's the VXWorksKiller. Micro generic. Okay, it is starting over again. And then micro generic. Micro generic. Okay. So this seems to be different ways of doing it, is what I think. And then how to return it. It looks like all you gotta do is those two. I thought you had to do 3 steps from watching the videos anyway. Here's those instructions. Let's see. And see, in most cases, it's as simple as installing a program on your computer. But if you do it incorrectly, you're in trouble. So, is your router supported? Yeah, you definitely want to start on this instructions page, installation. And that's how I got to that one that's specific there like that. And it tells you all the background, all the things you need to know, and it'll send you off to all the other places like the Peacock thread and all that. swap those. And sometimes when I do that, it makes my browser suddenly use up a bunch of memory, and I have to shut it down. So I better quit fooling with dragging things around. Yeah, I was thinking that I would end up do that first, and then I thought I might have to do the CFE updater, and then do the micro. Or I thought, what's that? Maybe I want that, you know. OLSRD. I'm wondering what it is. Copy. I'm going to paste, just Google search and see if it tells me right quick. Nah, it didn't come up there anyway. I think I'll just go with what it says though. Yeah, I don't even want to sit here and read more form stuff and all that. Okay, so I'm going to leave all this open like it is in case I need that. I know I need to remember how to do the 30-30 reset. I mean, I know how to do it, but so much rolling around in my head here. Okay, so what I'm going to want to do now is I think I'll make those equal, and then I will go back to my downloads, main downloads page. Went too far. And I'm going to put those in my folder I've already made for that, my router. And then I'm going to copy them onto my, I'll just copy them onto my little SD card. I have a little 32 gigabyte SD card in a USB adapter, so I can just put it in this machine, copy it. I don't even have these machines. I used to network all my machines, but it got to be harder to set up. You had to do command line work and edit config files sometimes, and so I got to where I'm just using USB stuff now, which is backwards to me, using media instead of network. But some of my machines I already had set up are still like that. But and my server, I did set it up where I could do that. But anyway, yeah, there's the SD card. No, that's the Seagate Exchange. That's my big backup drive. That's the one I want. Yeah, Don's files. Guess I'll put it in downloads. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll work. Wait, let's see. Do I have anything about this in here yet? No, I don't. Okay. So it's mostly downloaded stuff, so that makes the most sense. Okay. Copy. It's only 6.7 megabytes total, so that's not bad at all. Let's see now. Now it'd be simple to hit that equal button. I just like to keep that there so I can see what's going on with my video. Okay. Over here in unmount, you don't want to just yank those out in Linux especially. Well, you don't really want to do it in Windows, but unmount it first and then right click unmount and then take them out and put them. Now, what I need to do, okay, now there's me and my router, and there's my little card that I was talking about. I mean my USB adapter. There's tape on it with an SD card in it. There's tape on it because it wanted to fall out. It's actually not the same brand. It works fine, but it's looser in there than the actual brand that adapter is, and so it wants to fall out. Now, get my keyboards on in the right row, and I had thought about, I don't think I could go ahead and kind of get this. Okay, it does sort of work. Oh, okay. I didn't think my power cable was going to reach, but it will just barely reach. See, I was thinking that it might be better to put my camera over here on this because it's got a lot, and then I could get a straight-on view to my laptop. But then for the camera, but it wouldn't be a straight-on view for me. I can stand to turn that much pretty well without much trouble. And there we go. Was that better or worse for being able to see the screen? I think it's worse. Yeah, that seems to make the screen come in more. Okay, now, see, I'm on the internet, which yesterday, if you saw that video, then type my website in there. Let's see, yeah. And so I'm going to get to my website, which actually you might be able. It's not, but the search worked. But that's actually on my local network, so you might be able to get there anyway. Now, leave that like that. Now, what I'm going to do is plug in and plug up the router. I'm just beginning to really get started, and I'm feeling like I need a break pretty soon. So I'm wondering how I'm going to have to handle this. I was wanting to look and see how. I'd have to go do that. Okay. Well, it's not that important right at the moment. Let me go ahead and plug this thing up. Okay. Plug up my power supply over here on my power strip and get my power. Now, I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the machine, to the laptop, my Ethernet cable, and I want to see what happens to my wireless, see if it just stays the same or goes away, and whether or not I'm going to have to turn it off. Now I'm going to power it up, plug it up, and you want to, well, that's the reset button. So, and you want it in one of the ports. I've got a bad one, by the way. I didn't mention that today, but can we all see that? There we go. It's powering up. You can't see it real good in here, but that's the light is on. Those are, okay, yeah. I couldn't even see those. Yeah, it's finished. So I'm on port 1, and it's powered up, and it's ready to go. So I should be able to, I don't see how I can show the lights to the camera the way I'm with my setup like it is. And well, I need to, I don't know if I actually need to see them, but I mean, I don't want to leave it like that anyway. Even if I could get it to prop up, I don't want to break anything. So I'm going to leave it like that. And you can see the cabling and get the idea. That cable that's wound up there goes up to the laptop. Okay, so not sure what to do about my wires. Okay, so let's see if that messed up my internet. I doubt it really. Well, maybe it did. Let's see, I've still got my last search in there. Yeah, I think it did. It stopped the internet from working. So it took over. Now, I don't know if that's just a deBain thing or if I was mistaken about how all that works. If you look at your connection information, it still shows the wired connection. It does show the wired connection, 192.168.1.100, but it also still shows the wireless just like as if it was just fine, but it's not just fine. So, you know, they tell you to turn off the wireless, but it's stopping it when you do that. So I may still do it. Let's see. It's real simple in here. You right click on the connection icon and disable Wi-Fi. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for safety's sake. They say that's how you break your router, is by not going ahead and taking these precautions. So I'm going to stop that from trying to go anywhere. Now, 192.168.0.1. You know what? I'm going to make this a little simpler. I'm going to go to the connection information. See, now we don't have a wireless connection because I just manually turned it off. I could have done it with the slider button on the side of the laptop. I had thought I might do that. I'm going to copy this. Actually, I don't want 100. That's this machine's IP address. I want the router's IP address, just 1.1. And but I never have used those, and I forget which way they go, which way to push them and everything. And I went round and round with that yesterday because I couldn't remember. I'd been fiddling with it before I turned it on. I thought that was what was wrong, and it wasn't. It was because when you plug in the wired connection, it takes over on this Debane laptop. I'll have to do some checking to see if that's the case with Fedora, and I just didn't realize it. But I'm going to paste and go. There we go. Now this is admin. Actually, on this router, you don't even have to type the username in there, but usually I do. And see if I can remember it from yesterday. That's my password. Yep. Okay, that's my password. All right. Now, I don't want to save that. This is the standard Linksys router configuration utility, the firmware, the web interface to the firmware. Now, administration, this is where we're going to go to flash it. Turning that would make it any better. Not really. You're not going to be able to read it no matter what, are you? So I'm going to turn it back a little bit so I can still read it good. And yeah, I'm getting into that critical point here, so let me make sure I am still live and everything. Go back. I guess what I could do, you don't have to sit here and look at the router the whole time. I'll go on just the camera here. I'm on my desktop. Okay, I want to make sure I was live and everything. Everything looks good. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now, go back to, instead of going back to those two cameras, let's go to camera 1 alone. Yeah, that makes quite a bit of difference. Now, I wonder if this would be better like that. I don't know. Well, for some reason to me that looks like it's probably better as far as making the camera want to try at least to focus on the screen. It's not. It won't do it. It can't do it. It's not a high enough resolution camera. But let me get my main computer back on the instructions. Now, there's a firmware upgrade right there. What I was thinking I'll go ahead and do though is there's a firmware upgrade. We'll go ahead and look at that. That's what we're going to be doing. It says select a file, which I've already got it in my little SD card in the USB adapter. May take several minutes. Turn off the and I think I have to do that 30. No, you don't do that. Now it wouldn't. If you did that, it wouldn't. Oh, I think you might want to reset it before you start this. So I'll look at it again. I think it says before and after. So, but I want to save my personal settings in case they're of any use. I think I already have, but I want to do it again. It takes real quick. And make sure it says right in here, don't take a few minutes. Please don't turn the power off or anything. Don't interrupt it. So, management configuration. Yeah, backup. please select a file to restore. So that's where you restore your configuration bin file. They're bin files, but they're not the whole firmware. Okay, scan with virus total. Well, I'm not going to do that. Virus total? Oh, that's the web browser plugin. I was like, huh? Oh yeah, that's the one I use, isn't it? Okay, I won't need to do that because that's just my little bin file from my router. Let's make sure I have it. And I think while I'm here, yeah, config bin, I want to go ahead and get onto, I'll just put it over here on this. Now Linksys router, let's see. Let's go ahead and rename it. Well, I was thinking I would copy some of this. There's a, oh, there's a, yeah, that's the first bin besides the ones I just downloaded. Okay. I just wanted to give it a name so I'd know what it was. Like you can either do properties or rename in there. This is Crusader, my favorite twin panel file manager. Let's see. Okay, I want to change Linksys config backup. It's not number 2. And I didn't change anything. Okay, 10, 28, 17. Now this would be, this has saved me a lot of trouble lots of times because it takes, sometimes I forget or it just takes anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour or two to get all this back the way you want it. If you haven't done it in a while, then you're liable to forget, you know. That makes that the newest and it'll be on top. I just got to pay attention, but that's all right. WRXKiller is the one I'm going to want. I have a few downloads in there. Okay, now, make sure where I'm at. Yeah, okay, so basically I'm just explaining and you're just seeing movement, all right. That's really the best I can do. I could do a little better by moving the camera some more, but you still wouldn't be able to read it, so. Normally I would be doing a desktop screencast like I was doing a while ago, but it just can't do it in this case because it has to be isolated from my network. Okay, so the Wi-Fi, I was thinking about leaving the Wi-Fi on and doing that, but it wouldn't, it went off. It just won't let you do it. Okay, so, now that's backed up. Now let me go, I'm going to go to firmware upgrade, but first, let me go back to my main computer. Let's see. Oh, I didn't switch to my desktop. Go back to my instructions. And I believe it says to do the 3030 reset before. Yeah. Before you begin. Disable the wireless, did that. Save the instruction pages, but I've got them over here on my other computer. Here are websites to save, recovering from a bad flash and all that stuff. Probably need the TFTP execute. I can use PuTTY for that. Well, oh no, TFTP, that's the server. Well, we'll see about that. Is that how I'm going to have to do this? I've already forgot now. Let's see. Yes, I believe I will. Need a TFTP server. I had one on my old Fedora 14 machine that would Pixie boot server. I don't remember if I ever got it working right though. That was one reason why I thought about using it. I'm going off into other areas here. Okay. Website to say. Yeah, do not skip on the reset 3033. Before and after each change to your router's firmware. Before and after. It recommends using Internet Explorer. This could be a problem. I might not be able to do it in this. Let's just see if I can do it in the Bang. From what I gather, if you do get an error, it's not going to break anything, I don't think. That could be a problem, though. I didn't want to use the one machine I have. It's just so, I mean, it can take 30 seconds to a minute to open up an application on that thing. That's how bad it's running, and I don't want to use it if I don't have to. Plus, I'm really not that used to running Windows anymore. I get turned around in it now more. I'm used to Linux. Okay. Firewalls. Oh, okay. Disable firewalls. Offline restore. I don't know if I'm going to have trouble with my firewall. I might be able to get into my router just fine. Oh, when you run that TFTP server. Okay, so I might have to disable my firewall. Or just tell it to allow that port. Actually, don't remember what port it works on. Guess that's why they just say open it all up. Okay, now. Okay, let's go back and do the 30 reset. Which one is it? This one here. Do not attempt to reset or power cycle a router while it is still in process of upgrading. Yeah, okay. Wait for a couple of minutes. Do not attempt to hard reset 33 NVRAM on a Linksys EA series. Let's look at that. Whoops, wrong keyboard. I was trying to do control click. Okay. I thought, like I said, I didn't see, well, see, I watch TP-Link and Linksys videos now, so I can't remember for sure. I'm gonna put this in the folder here before I go any further. I didn't have that link saved. Put it in the DD-WRT. Okay. Okay, it said tells you certain things do and don't do these things. Okay, unless you have a Linksys EA router, do a hard reset before and after you change DD-WRT Firmware. This does not mean hitting the reset button and saying you're done. This means doing the 30-30-30. Problem is I don't know what an Linksys EA router is. I don't remember seeing anything on mine about EA. Let me look at the front of it here. Make sure I didn't miss something. Wireless G, broadband router, WRT54G. Best thing I can think of to do is where's the thread I was on? Okay. Oh, okay, I got to it from here. Okay. Linksys EA series. router. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to search for that and just see what I find. And I'm going to start with pictures. Ah, there we go. That's kind of what I thought. Oh, it's one of these newer routers, EA series. Okay. This one, the copy of I wonder if it's an EA. No, that's the new WRT. These are the brand new ones. Whoops. Yeah, right here. Okay. Okay, so I don't have. I do want to go ahead and do the reset then. Okay. I don't want to get so many pages open. Do the reset before and after the change, the versions. Do not mean hitting. Okay, do not do this on the EA series router. Okay. Okay, so that shouldn't. I believe this is. Yeah, this is the Peacock thread right here. I'm going to leave it open because I need to go back to it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, 30, 30, 30. Where is my... Here we go. I've got a... I guess I'll have to get my paper clip. Now I'm beginning to get a little nervous. Okay, so I've got my little paper clip here. And, boy, I'm behind again. I thought maybe I had my audio set to where it would... way behind, where everything would sync up, but it's my video's way behind my audio. But that's what I used to reset stuff with. It's a paper clip that's can't sit too good there, can you? It's straightened out. Part of it's straightened out so that I can, yeah, see it there. Okay, so I guess I will turn it around so I can get to the back. And let's see, 30, 30, 30, okay. And I think I'll do it like that for right now. Okay, so you, hold the reset for 30 seconds, release the reset button without releasing it. Oh, here's what I need. This might even help me. I need camera 2 and desktop. Oh, okay, now. Oh, that doesn't help. Well, it'll help you. You'll be able to see. Yeah, you'll be able to see what I'm reading here. Okay. So, hold the reset button. 30 seconds without releasing the button. Unplug the unit and hold the reset button. Another 30 seconds. Plug unit back in, still holding the reset button. And they're saying, please note that this step can put ASUS devices into recovery mode. Okay. I think I got that in my head now. So, get over here and do it. To it. Oops. It's going to be a little bit. There we go. That should make it work out. Oh, wait. Can't see if it's... Well, you won't really need to see the lights, I don't think. I need to see my clock. I need a second timer. Where am I going to get that? Let's see. I wonder if I've got something on the laptop that I can see it fairly well. Let's see, timer. Let's see if there's some sort of timer. Clock. Timer. I don't think I have anything. Let's see if there's, oh, it's going a little slower. Of course, you can't see what I'm doing there, but, oh, I see what was happening. Every time I would hit the back button to erase what I typed, it would bring up VLC. See if I have anything on this machine, one that you could see. Timer. Clocks for different countries. Time. Yeah, I don't ever fool with, see, there's the clock, but it doesn't count the seconds. I don't ever fool with that. Let's see. Can't think of anything I have that does. Okay, well, I'm just going to count in my head. And I'm not going to, yeah, I'll count it out loud, I guess. Okay, so we're on camera 1 and desktop, 2 and desktop. Okay, so you can see so now here's the instructions. Press and hold it, and then don't release it, unplug it, then don't release it for 30 seconds, and then plug it back in, keep holding it for 30 more seconds. Okay, that will mess up the page that we see when I reload it, or I'll go back to 1.1. Well, it'll probably go back to the default password. That's what I'm expecting here, and go back to the page 1 and all that stuff. Okay, so I'd like to have I just do not have something like that. Let's see. I could watch for a minute, for the next minute, but not. I'll just count. Okay. See if I can get this to where I can do it. Yeah, okay, it's in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can't sit here and count like that. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. My finger's slipping on that. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Now I know I'm longer than 30 seconds now. Guess I should have got me something. I'll wait a little bit longer. I mean, I could look at my clocks on my computers and go a minute, but I know there's something. I just can't think of it. Okay. I'm going to unplug it. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, because I know I'm counting shorter than a whole second. All right, now I'm going to plug it back in. Now then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now I can see on the side of the laptop that the lights are orange, blinking yellow, and solid orange. So it's not, it's not serving up. Okay, that should be long enough, I think. Now let's get it to where we can see the lights. It's looking like it's just blinking, power blinking. One is solid. One's power is blinking like in a sequence, so I can't see it unless I turn it towards me enough. It's still yellow. Actually, you know, I don't know. I was expecting it to be green over there on the side of the laptop, but I don't know what color it's supposed to be, actually. I would think it would have booted back up by now. Well, it could be slower since I reset it. But, I don't know if you can see it that good. Power button is still, you know, I don't remember what it's supposed to do normally. It's just blinking kind of. Oh, here we go. When I put it down where I can see it better. Oh, okay. I don't think the Cisco light's not on though. Well, it might not be. That's the wireless light, and it wouldn't be on if it's not set up. It's going to not be set up anymore, so that might not mean anything bad. Since you can mess them up, it worries me that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it. That's what I'm wondering. Let's find out. So if I can get back into it. I can't remember the default password for, is it on the back of the router? For this router. They're all kind of similar, but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, now the power light's blinking a little faster, so it might have still been working on booting back up. It may be taking longer than to do the reset than I thought it would. Okay, well, let's see if we can get into it. Now, get over here and look at what view I want to show. I think now we'll switch it to, one, so you can see the screen a little better. And I still need the instructions though for me. So, I nearly yanked it off of the table. I have a pillow that I rest my neck gets tired real easy. And I have a pillow I rest my head on. And my cable's over there right where I set it. So now it's a problem. Keep getting it hung on it. Okay, yeah, okay. Instructions, that was a 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 reset. All right. Oh yeah, I've already disabled the, oh yeah, you've got to configure your computer's local Ethernet address to 192.168.1.100. Okay, I may have to do all that to get it to talk to it. First, I'm just going to try it and see, but I guess it won't be able to get to it then. Ah, there we go. I didn't have to do it. Management mode, firmware upgrade, file name, browse. Oh, so that's what this does. Browse, apply, reset. Okay. So in my system, I didn't have to do that. Okay. I didn't have to go messing with the network settings. It did it all on its own. Cool. Oh. Okay, now the next, I was trying to roll to the next set of instructions and it wasn't doing nothing because I had the wrong mouse for the wrong machine. Okay. Do not use wireless. Okay, of course not. Yes, of course. People don't think about that. They're so used to using wireless that they don't realize that it's going to break that connection, you know, while you're doing this. And yeah, okay, the page opens, it says Management Console. Oh, wait, maybe this is not what I want. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see. This may not be what I want after all. I'm just assuming I know what's going on here. Okay. Do not use wireless. Set that up. I might still have to set that up. Let's go back and read the instructions again. Okay. Power cycle. Let's see. Why would you want a power cycle again when it's already been done? I think maybe that's what I already just did. Okay, yeah, I already did that part. Oh, okay. Well, all right, okay. This setting it up to the 192.168.1 and all that is the default. What you would have to do if it wasn't already like that, I guess. Okay, don't use wireless. Power cycle, do the 3030. That's what I just did. Vista and so and so. Browse to the 1.2. Okay, a hard reset may leave you at a titled management page. If so, power cycle router and reload. You should be in factory setup GUI. Okay, so I don't want in there. That seems like that's what I would want. I'm glad I read the instructions, because that looks like what I want. I'd be good, you know, like giving it my file. Okay. Oh yeah, because we're not upgrading it. We're you should be in. So I got to power cycle it again. Now, do they just mean normal power cycle, or do the hard reset again? Unplug. Okay, power IE, power cycle IE. Unplug the power cord from the router. Okay. Normal, I guess. Now, that's interesting. That's where I guess, you know, that's where a lot of people might just assume that's the thing to do and then break it right there. I guess that would break it. Okay. Use the firmware. Okay, let's see. Power cycle router and reload. You should be in the factory setup GUI. So I don't want that. I want to reload. You can kind of see that there, and even in my bad camera angle and everything. Okay. So I'm going to power cycle my old router. If you're gonna be able to see that or not. I have to wait for the camera to catch up for what I'm doing. Oh my. Guess I didn't want to drag my chair over there again, but I guess I should have had this table closer to me this time. The camera has dropped down some over here, so you can't see my side of the table hardly at all. Let's see if I can make that a little better. I think it's going to just keep doing that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so unplugged it, but I'm going to wait till you can see it on my. Okay, now I'm going to plug it back in, and I'll spin it around to where I can see the lights. Okay. And it's blinking just like it did before. And my Ethernet lights on my laptop are doing the same thing. Oh, now the wireless light came on like normal. Okay. Oh, and it says connection established. So it gave it a wireless connection already, automatically. So I'll disconnect that wireless connection. And so I don't have any mess ups that way. And let's see, I'll go back to, no, not the router. I want the laptop screen. That's what I want to show now. Okay, and go back to my instructions for myself here. Okay, boy, this is tricky to me. Like I said before, oh, it says, okay, I don't have Wi-Fi enabled. Okay, it's still not enabled. So even though it's serving it up, well, let's see, yeah, there's no connection. And it's 192.168.1.100. So what I can do is hit enter right there. There we go. Admin, I think it's admin. Yep, admin. Okay, don't save. Now, see, it's reset back to the factory defaults. And status. Oh yeah, there's my firmware. Yeah, version 8.0.0.8. Go ahead and do a new screenshot of that. October 5th, 2009. And so that's what I have. So that's within the, you know, V8.0.0. That's what I figured out. That's what I finally figured out. Go to administration and then go to firmware upgrade. That's where I know I'm going to need to go. Now let me look on the instructions again. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, let's go show both. You can't read, whoops, you can't read any of what I got shown anyway. So one and desktop, right? Yeah, laptop, and then you'll see the desktop. Okay. So here I am back where I was. I didn't have to manually set any of this, the IP addresses. It all worked out for me. And I did do that 3030 reset, and then I did a normal reset because that's what I believe it said to do. And then I saw the management console mode that I didn't want. They said I didn't want that. So now you should be in the factory setup GUI. Well, I didn't get into, well, yes I am. I thought it was going to be that wizard that comes up when you get a brand new router, but that's where I was. I was in the, okay, factory setup GUI. That's what this is. It wasn't that other management mode thing. Okay. So, now, use the firmware upgrade dialog to flash. The firmware upgrade, that's where I am right now, to flash the VXWorksKiller. That's what I got to do now. If this page opens, it says management mode, close your browser and try again. It may take a couple of times. Okay, so that might happen. Wait 5 full Earth minutes before you continue. Longer is better. Okay. Give it plenty of time to do its magic. After 5 minutes is up, you can notice dialog asking you to reboot the router. Go ahead and power cycle the router. Unplugging the power cord and plugging it back in. Now it doesn't say do 3030 reset that time. Okay, so I'm going to triple check that I'm showing what I think I'm showing. Okay, yeah, the route. Okay, yeah, desktop. So once I get over here on this page, you'll see my instructions again. Okay, now I'm going to browse to. Not doing anything. I was thinking, okay, do I have to close everything on the laptop? No, I'm not doing anything to the laptop. I'm going to be browsing over here to where my VXWorksKiller is right there, which is on my 32 gigabyte SD card. Okay. There it is right there. Don's files, downloads, my router. I want VXWorksKiller bin. VXWorksKiller bin, GV8-3 bin. That's what I want. Okay. Now, okay, it shows it. Yep. It shows it in there. Now the down here, upgrade. Now it's beginning to make some little progress lines across there. And it's it's already rebooting, so it's 3:25 a.m. right now, so I got to wait till 3:30, a little after 3:30 before I do anything else. So, and that won't be changing now because, upgrade is successful, rebooting, continue. I'm not going to hit continue until after my 5 minutes. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do it now or then, but it won't hurt because it can't talk to it while it's being rebooted. I know I've done a lot of remote reboots like this from doing, you know, when you change your wireless settings, all kinds of settings, you have to do this. And so I get the idea with that. And I've got 4 or 5 different routers too, so they're all kind of similar in that. I know that much. Okay, now if you have Vista, okay, now where am I? Right here, VXWorksKiller number 6. And I didn't have any trouble. It didn't go back to the management console or anything. Now, wait for at least 5 full minutes. Give it plenty of time. If you see a dialog asking you to reboot the router, go ahead. Now on mine, this doesn't say reboot the router. It'll say rebooting the router, and actually after a while it may say it's done. It depends on how it works, because this is not, you know, it's not going back into its normal firmware. This is killing that firmware. Well, actually, it's not going to. It's going to have a. I remember on the video, it's going to have a really basic. Oh, this is a very basic firmware with no GUI. That's why you got a TFTP into it. You got to go in the command line. Now, that's what I was wishing I could do was if I could TFTP in there with Crusader. I don't think I've ever tried that. Then I wouldn't have to type it all out in the terminal. I could just transfer. All you're doing is transferring a file over. That's all that TFTP program is for. Well, you do have to have that server running to get it to talk to this, to give it an IP address. That's the thing. Talk to the router to give it an IP address, because I don't think it's given out. Well, it's going to give out an IP address. I'm just going to follow the instructions, and if I see a little workaround trick, I'll do it. Otherwise, I won't. So I think while I'm waiting on that to finish rebooting, I will check my live stream. Thing is, here I am right in the big middle of it, and I'm needing a break so bad. I should have took a break. I thought about it, but I thought, oh, I'm so close. I thought about taking a break before I actually started this, you know, because my video is already, well, it was a little over an hour. Now it's an hour and 47 minutes. See, I thought, oh, it'll be about 5 or 10 more minutes. I can wait. Now I'm about to die to take a break here. So you know, when you got to go, you got to go. But and I tried to hang on. But so what I'm afraid is I may have to in the middle of all this. But there's only 2 more minutes. I could do that. I could leave it going just like it is. I've done it before. Leave it going like it is and come back. Okay, so my stream is still good. I guess that's what I will have to do, because otherwise I gotta really break up this video. So, you know, talk amongst yourselves and everything, and I'll be right back while this is, I've still got 1 more whole minute. Oh, wait a minute. Let me hang on here. This is kind of a dumb spot to take off for 2 or 3, 4 minutes. Could have done it. I should have done it right at the beginning, but I didn't want to. At the beginning of this, I was like, oh, I think, okay, I'm okay. Yeah, that's the way. That's a good way to build suspense, huh? Stop right here. Okay, see the next video to see what happens. Some people do that. I don't like to stop until I'm at a finishing point. Okay, so, okay, it is 3:30 now, but I'm going to wait at least 1 more minute. From when because I don't know where I was in the time, you know. Like they said, more is better on this one. And it doesn't have any of the extra lights on yet or anything. Well, it probably won't. Probably be like it was a while ago without that wireless light being on the Wi-Fi signal light. Just a little graphic. It's, you know, I never could remember what it was, what it represented. It says Cisco Systems, and it's got a graph-looking thing, kind of like, you know, like on your laptop, the bars that show what your wireless signal is like. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. Of course, if you have one of these, you already know that. But every time I put my mouse back up there, it puts it up there on top of the stuff up there and messes things up. Okay. Okay, now it's 3:31. Okay, let me go back to looking at my instructions. If you notice the dialog asking you to reboot the router, go ahead and power cycle the router by unplugging the power cord and plugging it back in. You won't be able to browse this point, but you should be able to ping it. Okay, I can ping it with a program. That's one reason I installed those programs. I don't remember how to type in ping commands. I guess it's just ping, but and the IP address, but oh, okay, I may have to go ahead and do that up there now. Set those network settings. But yeah, to get into all that, I'm absolutely going to have to. Okay, now it's 3:32, so that should be long enough. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click this continue and see what happens. See if it'll probably try to talk to it again. It's trying to, but it's not going to, I'm sure. So, I did see one video, one of the guys, I think he rebooted his router and it actually went ahead and worked. He was able to get back into it. I think it was a different, oh, but he was just putting like a new DD-WRT on it. He wasn't doing the VXKiller part of it, I think. VXWorksKiller. So, oh yeah, I forgot how behind my cameras are now. They need a break as bad as I do. Okay, so, yeah, that's just sitting there. It's going to load and load and load. Upgrade successful rebooting. Now wait, hang on. That changed, didn't it? Or did it? I don't see any blinking on the lights though. Like it's like that's but I saw some. Okay, there we go. Now I want to let's see if it's rebooting itself like it said in the window there. I don't want upgrade HTM at any rate. I know that much. I just want 1.1. Pretty sure it will just do like they say. It won't work until you set up the. Matter of fact, I can look up here. Well, it's still showing that it has 1.100, but that if it loses its connection to your router, then it'll just stay like that most of the time. So, see, it's still trying to connect to 1.1, but I don't see the router doing anything. You know, like any changes in the lights, I mean, or anything. I'll wait a little bit longer because I don't want to interrupt it if it's rebooting. I could jack it up if it's rebooting on its own by me clicking that OK button. Actually, I probably shouldn't have. Oh, I just clicked the OK button. I didn't. Yeah, until just now, I didn't try to get rid of that. But yeah, I believe I'm going to try to get to the point where I see what happens here, and then I will probably have to divide this video up, take a break, and start again. I believe I can go ahead and power cycle it, unplug it. I'll wait for a second because I know how slow my cameras are being. Get over here where I can see. Oh, I'm not showing this now anymore. Lost my train of thought. Cameras 1 and 2 is what I want now, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna plug it back in. Now let's see what it does. See if it does anything any different on the lights. Definitely don't want to rush this. Every video I saw said, don't rush it. That's usually what breaks it. And everything you read says that. So I kind of understand in the 30 thing reset now. You do that before you start rewriting stuff, not every time you reboot. From a little bit there, I was like, man. That's what I thought you had to do at first when I was reading those instructions. But so let's see. I'm going to hit try again. Well, it's usually a lot of times it works better if you click up in there and hit enter for some reason when you're trying to connect to a router that's been rebooted or been unable to connect. Yeah, I'm not quite sure just how long it would take. Okay. I think we're going to have to leave it at a cliffhanger. We're unable to connect, but I know why. Because I haven't set up the go straight to desktop this time. I haven't set up. I've got to go back up here and do that part. I've got to go back and I don't. It seems backwards the way they've got it in here. I was already set up with 192.168.1.100 as my local IP address of that laptop, and this was the router's IP address. Well, now it doesn't have that, and there's actually action on the like it's trying to. Well, it's trying to connect. I don't know. Guess it'll be able to. The laptop. And see, the Linux will. If it's at all possible, if there's an IP address to be had, it will get it. See, it says it's requesting an IP address from the wired connection. That's why you don't want your wireless turned on right now. That would it would get it from there, and it would be happy, and you would not be okay. So you can't even get connection information right now. But what I'm going to have to do is edit connections. Go to Ethernet, edit. Now then, go to IPv4 settings, and it says automatic with DHCP. Let's see, automatic DHCP address only. A manual is what I'm going to want. Leak local only, shared to other computers. Oh, okay. So, manual. Okay, I'm going to start typing. Let's see. What am I looking at? Okay. I've got to see what it says to do. I want one in desktop again, I guess. Okay, so if I go to one in desktop, I just need to be able to see my instructions. Okay. Address. This thing needs to be 192.168.0.100. Okay. Might need to connect that. Okay. I'm not going to click that. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and do with IPv4 because we don't want to get all confused here. Okay, routes. Let's see. Gateway. Oh. NetMask. Gateway. Well, how do you do that in here? DNS servers. Search domains. Subnet gateway. Okay, we want to add a gateway. Oops. Not that one. There's a blank one there. We don't want that. Okay. Oh, okay, now it works. I had too many in there. NetMask 255. 255.255.255.0. Okay, now if I would just hit enter like I normally do, everything would have been fine. Now the gateway, 192.168.1.1, and the IP address is going to be 100. Okay, now we should be good. Oh, save. Okay, I'm just going to leave that open and it'll go in the background. Well, let's see if that makes it work. Oh, that's not what you do next. There's not going to be, I keep trying to connect to it and it's not going to connect to it. That's the thing where you gotta, oh, okay. So if you run your TFTP server on your laptop, then the router will connect to it, and then you can write the file to it. So yeah, I still have to get that TFTP server up and running, because even if I go over here and try to connect to it, like, I don't even know if you can do TFTP like that in here, but let's see, TFTP, you might be able to. It'll do a lot of protocols. Oops, that's wrong. HTTP. TFTP. Cannot do that. Let's try. I can't, it's so little. I think I have 2 T's in there. I have 2 F's in there. I thought something looked odd. Let's try that. I don't think it'll work, but TFTP, just out of curiosity. Okay, now let's just try FTP. Yeah, that router's not, I'm not going to serve up anything like that, I don't think. Tried. Okay. I'm going to try this. Just plain old 192.168.1.1. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Now, this doesn't really work too good, but let's see. Local network. I don't think anything's going to show up. Never does. For some reason, Crusader's not as... If there's Samba shares, it'll find them, Windows shares, but... See, the thing I do know is you could use other protocols. If I could type it. I've got the whole thing in there. I've got that, I copied too much stuff is what happened. I don't think it... I used to use the NFS protocol all the time, but it doesn't even work on the newer versions of... So anyway, I'm going to have to set up a TFTP server, because, yeah, there's no server on the router right now. I thought... That's what I don't understand. There should be... It seems to me the server should be on the router and you should be contacting it, not the server on your laptop, and then you doing a, it's like you're doing a reverse contact. Doesn't make sense to me. So I'll just do like they say. But yeah, I am going to have to absolutely stop and come back. So do that, and I'll go back at it. I'll get that TFTP going one way or the other. All right, bye.